joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. See, that's the difference nigga. The pimpin' mashin' for these riches nigga. Nothing like you master magician niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route and working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scar bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Come on pimpin' man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. One of them joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your ism, right? Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for Okay. Yeah, man. Here we go. Right back at it. You dig?
But getting back to this game that I never left.
That we never left. Top of it to everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. Y'all already know what to do, man. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button, that button that look like that, you dig? And welcome to Casa de Freeze. Get these Instagram people in here with us, okay? Live, direct, and in full effect. Yeah, man. Okay, man, I see it's 78 of y'all up in here so far, but only 48 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door, man. Do a pimp a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. It don't cost you nothing, you dig? Keeping it P with P, I see you. Miss Keita, Sylvia, Triple X, McFresh Osby, Lavish, Foreplay Freddy, Garrick Huff, The Original, Exposing the Truth, Michael Weston in the house, King Penny, Channel R, Ed McAllister, what's up with it? Free God, Q Mac, Calvin McDougal. Okay, I see some of my old school peoples that been around for a long time up in here, you dig? Wise Sharpens Wise, Ryder Greg, okay. We up in this thing, man. We are up in here. Mr. Reed, Ice Cream, Ray Gunn, my loved one, man. What's happening? Appreciate you for that $2 holla. You dig? 100 blessings. Yes, indeed. Brother Bill, like clockwork, as always. Good looking with the $2 holla. You dig? Glory to God for this game. Long live Sinful to P. Just worked out. Dig that. I'm kind of envious of you, man, because I ain't got to get mine in yet today. But after this stream is over with, it's straight to the gym. You dig? Ray Tools, what's happening with you, man? Yeah. Let me shout out my IG peoples, okay? Big Chase, troublemaking ass, what's happening with you, man? Excuse my fly, Nas the Great, Mr. 28th, H-Town Don, okay. A good receiver, what's happening with you, man? Barry Paid. P. Regan Plug, A1A Reputable, what's up with it, man? Bands the Gym, what's happening? iRoy's Carousel. Excuse my fly, I think I already shot you out. Go Young DJ, what's up with it, man? Mansa Tycoon, Scorpio Dude, I see you. It's yours. Heavyweight Jew, Pretty Ass Juicy. Benji Boy Stacks. Pay Portia with your confused ass. What's happening with you? Sharpshooter Gouda. What's happening, man? OGJ baby, what's up with it? Mr. Get It Done. June So Fly. Okay, Portia say, my dad is a tailor in Buckhead. You need to get a suit, custom made. You be clean. Appreciate you. You know, I don't ever be in Georgia really, but I don't know, man. If your dad is that vicious with it, I just might make a trip. You dig? Mr. Motion, another troublemaker. What's happening with you, man? Fine Wine, another troublemaker. What's happening with you, man? Greedy Killer. Okay, I see y'all, man. We up in this thing, man. Let's get to chopping and popping this game. Y'all already know my first order of business. Gots to hydrate my game. Put some love in my body. Y'all playing with the likes though, man. Y'all playing with wiping your feet off at the door, man. You wouldn't want me coming up in your crib with dirt on the bottom of my feet, tracking it everywhere. I come up in your joint, I'm gonna wipe my feet off at the door. Do the same for a pimp, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about women that are jealous of the men that they are in a relationship with, which is crazy to even articulate out of my mouth. Crazy to even think about in my mind. But it's a real thing, man. We're gonna chop it up about this shit though. Cheers to the game. Third one, good looking with the $2 holla. What's poppin', Freeze? One love, third one. Now this live chat was motivated by a conversation that we was having on yesterday's stream. And forgive me for not remembering who that was that made the statement. But it was a young fellow in here, and he was talking about how the chick that he was dealing with at a particular time was saying that, you know, they were in competition with each other, or he was her competition or something to that effect. And it's crazy for a woman to think like that. But, you know, see, if you haven't had your eyes open to this type of shit, man, you might overlook it a lot. A lot of y'all are probably in a relationship with somebody that's jealous of you right now, but you don't think in that type of way. When you dealing with somebody, you know, whether it's pimping and 304ing, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever the case may be, you don't think of that person that you in a relationship as being jealous. You know, if you a female, you can easily recognize other females that are jealous of you. If you a guy, you can easily identify other guys that are jealous of you. But it's not the easiest thing to identify a significant other that's jealous of you. You might mistake it for something else. You might see jealous behavior in different jealous characteristics being put on display by this individual, but you might think it's something else. But it's really hatred, right? And it's really jealousy. And man, it's crazy, man. I've experienced this shit myself, and it was a cold eye opener for me, right? Some of y'all familiar with the story, some of y'all familiar with parts of the story and things like that. But man, I was dealing with this chick, and then let me add also, right, that hey, TikTok is a mother. TikTok is the devil. I have a TikTok. I hardly ever be on there, but I really don't like TikTok. Everything has its pros and cons. I know that TikTok can be cool in some ways. A lot of people be dropping a lot of game on there and teaching you about different things and teaching you how to do this, that, and the third. So I know that there's some good things about TikTok, but it's way too many bad things about TikTok, man. And when it comes to these young ladies, hey man, TikTok is poison to their minds. It's corrupting their minds, it's rotting their minds, right? So I'm gonna break it down to you, right? So I was dealing with this chick at a particular time, right? And everything was smooth. I ain't gonna get too deep into the story, but everything was smooth. Now, of course, the situation wasn't perfect between me and this individual, but at this particular time, everything was smooth. And the cold part about it, this all took place 2 days before my birthday, right? But everything was smooth. We was having a good time. Everything was going good. We was living good. Everything was good. And out of nowhere, this individual, put them people on me, had them people at my doorstep. Fortunately, I was able to, Wayne Gretzky passed the situation. You know what I mean? I was able to Steve Hamilton my way up out of there, but, or Scott Hamilton, excuse me, my bad. But, yeah, man, this individual did this, and it was totally, when I say totally unprovoked, right? So this is what happened, right? When I was able to talk to the individual after the bullshit hit the fan, I'm like, why you do that? Like, and basically she was letting me know in so many words that, my pimping was moving real fast, and she didn't think she was going to be able to keep up. So she thought she was going to be left behind. And, I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking like if we rocking together, we gonna ride all the way wherever I go, you go. We gonna ride all the way to the top together, right? But she's thinking that, she gonna get left behind because, pimping, man, especially somebody like myself, I be having action at bad broads all the time. Bad bitches, high quality women. I be having action at on a regular basis. You dig? As I should. And chicks be getting intimidated by that type of shit, fucking with a pimp. So, she told me that she felt like she wasn't going, in so many words, I don't remember her words verbatim, but basically she felt like she was going to get left behind. So she was going to sabotage what she had played a part in building up to that point, right? She was on some like, well, shit, if I'm not going to be a part of it, then he ain't going to be a part of it neither. So she tried to snatch my freedom. She tried to snatch everything that I had going on, right? And like I said, it was totally unprovoked. Just stay with me. I'm going somewhere, right? So I'm chopping it up with my partner about this shit, right? And this chick was young. She was 21 at the time, right? And I'm chopping it up with one of my partners one day, and I'm telling him about what's going on, and he like, yeah, P is crazy because I just went through something similar with a little 21-year-old that I had, right? And so we chopping it up about the shit, and I'm like, man, what's crazy too about this chick? Every waking moment she's on TikTok. And this happened years ago, right? But I guarantee you, wherever that little chick is right now, I guarantee you she on TikTok. She was a TikTok fiend. And so I was telling my partner this shit, and he was like, what's crazy, P? The little chick that I'm talking about, she was addicted to TikTok too. And he was telling me about these videos that were popular at the time. And some of y'all might remember the shit. It's funny, Dallas Confidential, you saying she was a narcissist. It's funny that you say that right at the time, at the point of the story that I'm getting to, right? Because my partner was like, yeah, the little chick that I was had the situation with, she was a TikTok junkie too. And he was like, she was into these videos about narcissism. And he was saying that these videos was real popular on TikTok among the young ladies. And within these videos, they would tell chicks or give scenarios like, yeah, do this to your man And if he responds this way, then he loves you. But if he responds that way, then he's a narcissist, right? Or, tell your man this, and if he responds with this, then he loves you. But if he responds with that, then he's a narcissist, right? So when he said that shit, man, it was like a ton of bricks hit me. I was just like, wow. I was blown away, because when he said the shit and he was explaining certain things to me about these videos, I was like, man, that's this chick. So it gave me the impression that it's a high likelihood that she got the idea to do the shit that she did based on some bullshit ass TikTok videos that she seen, right? But that's only part of it though, right? And see, listen, man, this don't just go for the pimping. This goes for any man that got shit going on that you worked hard for, that you didn't put in blood, sweat, years, and tears for, right? And you've established yourself in a certain way. Hey, listen, man, I don't give a damn how attractive the chick may be. I don't give a damn about how cooperative she may appear to be. I don't give a damn about how sweet or whatever it is that you may like about her, man. Hey, certain people that don't have shit going on are meant to not have shit going on. And there's ways that you can determine whether or not somebody who ain't got shit going on is meant to have nothing going on, or if they got the potential to have something going on, right? And see, a red flag went off in my mind and I disregarded it with this chick, right? And I've told some of y'all this story before, but one day we chilling, man, and some of y'all, like I said, y'all know the story, man. We had the condo overlooking the water, literally a stone's throw away from the ocean. We waking up seeing dolphins on our out the window and shit. And this chick come from the slums for real. And we was having a discussion about something, and I was telling her something, and she was like, man, I should have stayed working at Wendy's. And I was like, are you serious? Like, how could you make a statement like that? Look how you living at your age. Like, where you're from that's your age is living like you. Right? And I'm trying to convince her that, she belongs here. But with that statement, she let me know, probably without even realizing it, that she doesn't belong here. Hey, listen, man, if you a guy and you, like I said, you got shit going on, you might be a square, you might be an entrepreneur and you got a successful business and shit like that, and you meet a chick that stay with her mama in the hood or stay with her family or something, or, she might not have nothing going on. She might be motel living, whatever the case may be, right? But she ain't got much going on. Like I said, it's ways to determine whether or not she has the potential to have something going on, right? A lot of people make a lot of shit sound good, but you just got to pay attention to behaviors and characteristics and the way people express themselves and so forth, right? But people that are at the bottom and ain't actively, adamantly, consistently working to get away from the bottom, they supposed to be at the bottom. It don't matter what you think you may see in that individual. If they don't see it, then they supposed to be at the bottom, right? And the times that we in, it makes things very confusing, and it makes people very deceptive, and it's easy to slip up and allow the wrong person into your mix, man. But that wrong person in your mix could cost you everything, right? And see, if you make the mistake of letting somebody around you that belongs at the bottom they supposed to be at the bottom for a reason. And then, you know, these are the type of people that can be jealous of you. There's just one type of person that could be jealous of you, but we gonna get into it and break shit down. But there's just one type of person that could be jealous of you, right? And, you know, they don't have the work ethic that you have. They don't have the drive that you have. They don't have, you know, the vision that you have. And you may try to impart that to them. You may try to get them to adopt your vision and your ambition and your drive and so forth. But the whole time you trying to get them to level up, they can't get over the fact that they're not you. They don't have that abundance mindset that you have, that, you know, there's enough for all of us and then some. There's no such thing as enough, or there's no such thing as too much, right? You know, but this individual, they believe that what you have is supposed to be theirs. This chick believes that what you have is supposed to be hers, right? Like if you got a successful business going on, she thinks that's supposed to be her business and not yours. Like she's supposed to have it and you're not supposed to have it. You're not supposed to have nothing. If you have a nice car, she think that's supposed to be her car and not yours. If you have a nice place to live, she think that's supposed to be her place to live and not yours, right? It's a jealousy thing. It's an envy thing, right? And hey, man, it's so many red flags that a lot of cats be ignoring. And like I said, I've been guilty of it myself. So you might think it's subtle. You might think it's innocent. But hey, man, that little subtle, innocent shit could turn into some big shit. It could snowball into something that'll screw your whole life up. That's just like, for instance, right? A lot of y'all know that I have been attacked in a lot of different ways by people on the internet, right? And, you know, I don't sweat that shit. But it was a chick that I was dealing with one time, right? And there was some people on the internet slandering my name and, you know, lying on me and so forth, saying some horrible shit about me. And this chick thought it was funny. Like, she seen some of the shit while we sitting together. We sitting together and she looking at some shit that people was saying derogatory about me on the internet, and she found humor in that shit, right? And this is the same chick that has been in public with me before and, you know, seen people that know me from the internet and you know, sometimes people get excited, right? And she's seen this several times. But I remember one time, I ain't gonna say who it is, but shout out to you though. But one time we was staying at this hotel, right? And it's top of the morning and we pulling into the valet. And the car that I was in didn't have no tent. So there was a shuttle bus loading up this early in the morning. It's a shuttle bus loading up to go to the airport from the hotel, right? So it was a youngster that was, he was about to get in the shuttle, but he seen me in the car. And before I could even roll the window down, he was like, oh shit. He was like, Freeze, man, what's up, man? He was like super excited, you dig? And I got out and shook his hand and, you know, I think I gave him, I did something. Oh no, he wanted to take a picture. That's what it was. But when he pulled his phone out, he was shaking because he was just so excited. You know what I mean? He was a youngster. So then we took a picture together. He was like, man, Freeze, man, it's so good to meet you. Wooty wooty whoop, right? And the chick that I'm talking about, the same chick that was laughing at people slandering me on the internet, she see all this shit, right? And when she seen that particular situation, she was like, oh, that's so sweet, wooty whoop. But when I replay everything in my mind after the fact, it's like, you know, she was jealous of those type of moments. That's what allowed her to laugh at me in front of me while people was lying on me and slandering me on the internet, right? You know, she wanted to have that type of effect on people instead of me. She felt like that's supposed to be her that they looking at that way and not me. Not her as well as me, both of us. Like, no. Why are they looking at him like that? They supposed to look at me like that. Right? When I look at everything in retrospect, that's what her sentiment was when it came to all that type of stuff, right? It's a jealousy thing. It's an envy thing, right? And, you know, man, like I said, these type of things, man, they could turn out real ugly if you don't nip it in the bud quick, or if you don't learn from it and take heed to it and apply what you learn from it moving forward in the relationships and things that you deal with moving forward, right? See, a lot of y'all, man, especially with the way social media is, there's so many attractive people on social media, you know, that's all it takes to get with you. Especially a lot of you dudes, man. A lot of you dudes, all it takes for a woman to get with you is for her to be attractive. She could be a piece of shit person. She could have done everybody that she knows dirty, right? Her family, her mama, she might have kids that she don't give a damn about and don't see about, right? She could just be a horrible person, but her being attractive physically is all it takes for her to get around you. You dig? And hey, man, if you allow it to be that easy, if that's the only requirement to get around you, man, you just don't know what type of shit you might be letting around you, and it could potentially be somebody that's jealous of you. And like I said, man, if you don't know what to look for, you dealing with a chick. Some of y'all dealing with a chick right now that you don't even know is jealous of you. But some of the shit that I'm saying is like an eye opener to you. Like, damn, this broad was just doing that to me the other day, or she just did that to me earlier today. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man, it's a scary thing, man. But we gonna chop this game about it so you can learn from it. You dig? Come on, man. It's 210 of y'all up in here, but only 145 of y'all done wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain. Do me a favor. Wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button, man. Hydrate my game one time. Carlos Enriquez, hold on, I got you. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, bam. Bam. There you go, man. Yeah, you know, for those of y'all who may want a copy of Sinful to P's obituary or program, whatever you want to call it, email me at the pinned comment email and put in the subject of the email either program or obituary or something like that, so that I know when I scroll through the emails, I can see that subject and be like, okay, that's what this one is about. You dig? So yeah, go ahead and do that. But hold on. Yeah, and see, so how do you recognize this as somebody? How do you identify whether or not somebody is envious of you or has the potential to be envious of you that you in a relationship, right, with? Well, a lot of it has to do with trust, man. You know, the characteristics about a person that make them jealous of you, 9 times out of 10, they gonna show you things about themselves that make them untrustworthy, right? So, a lot of times we make the mistake of trusting the wrong people with too much. So I've broken this down to you several times over the years, and I'm gonna break it down to you again, right? The criteria by which I go to determine whether or not somebody is trustworthy. Number one, self-esteem or self-importance, right? Now this one you have to pay attention to, right? Self-esteem, self-importance. You got to pay attention to whether or not somebody even has a sense of self-importance, for one, and then two, where does that sense of self-importance come from? Does it come from within, or does it come from outside things and forces that person may have to do with, right? For instance, the type of self-importance that a woman should have is it should be based on her character, right? Her principles and values, things that should be important to her, like family, integrity, dignity, femininity, like we talked about yesterday. And who she is as a woman, what makes her valuable to other people, and whether or not other people even value her in the first place, and if they do, what makes her valuable to those people. This is where a woman's sense of self-importance should come from. A big one. Speaking of self-importance, a big one, a big thing that should make a woman feel important is her relationship with her parents, especially her mother, right? And it's crazy because a couple of these stories that I've told y'all with different chicks, man, horrible relationships with their mother. Probably barely know their father, barely relationship with their father, but horrible relationships with their mothers. So that's something that should make a woman feel important, knowing that she's important to her mother or her parents, and knowing that they love her, right? And that they've instilled love in her and shown her love throughout her whole life. These are just some of the things that should make a woman feel important, give her a sense of self-importance, right? Now, some of the wrong things that make some of these chicks feel important, it's not a real sense of self-importance because, see, like we talked about yesterday, doing things from the inside out, when you have a sense of self-importance that comes from the inside out, then it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. The circumstance may change. Your location may change. Your financial situation may change. Your social status may change. People that you have relationships with may change. But when your sense of self-importance is internal and it comes from the inside out, then no matter what changes in your life may take place, you're going to still have that sense of self-importance rooted within you because it's coming from the inside out, right? Like I said, that's the one thing that's going to stay consistent is who you are as a person, right? So, like I was saying, you have some chicks that their sense of self-importance comes from things outside of themselves, like social status, their following on social media, right? Their presentation, as far as like the hair, the eyelashes, the nails, the makeup, and what have you. Shout out to the women that get their hair done, that get their nails done, might wear eyelashes and makeup and things like that, but ain't afraid to be seen without that shit. Yeah, shout out to y'all, you dig? Shout out to them type of women. Yeah, got to give y'all a round of applause, man, because some of these chicks that have it in them to be jealous of you, whoo, they will never let you see them without the wig. They will never let you see them without the eyelashes, the makeup. They're not gonna let you see that, because that's what makes them feel important. So if they take off all of that shit, they're not gonna feel important. Man, I would love to see some of these people's mug shots, you dig? Because the mug shot, man, they make you take all that shit off. Well, depending on where you at. Some places they don't, some places they do. But yeah, man. Like I said, the presentation, the social media status, how many thirsty ass guys is in their DM. When they have all this shit on and they go out, the way people treat them because of the way that they look. If they have nice material things like purses or shoes or jewelry or what have you, that makes them feel important, and they wouldn't feel important without it. You know, where they may live, they might have a nice place to live, you know, but if you take these things away, the sense of importance, the sense of self-importance goes right along with it, right? So these are the things that it's imperative for me to pay attention to when I meet a chick. And oftentimes I'll ask, like, what's important to you? Just a simple question. What's important to you? Hey, man, you'll be surprised. Well, you probably wouldn't be surprised at some of the answers that you get, but it's disappointing when you ask somebody a simple question like, what's important to you? A lot of them will give you politically correct answers that ain't the truth. And then, you know, a lot of them will give you honest answers that are crazy. And then some of them don't know what's important to them. But when you take the time to figure out by paying attention and observing what is actually important to some of these chicks, man, you'll find out, like, yeah, I ain't got no business dealing with this person, or okay, I could rock with this person, right? But the sense of self-importance is number one. Number two is self-discipline, right? Now, this is an extremely rare one. And again, you know, shout out to the ladies that have a sense of self-discipline about themselves, right? That know how to refrain from certain things when it's the time to, that know how to resist certain temptations when it's time to, right? Again, if you pay attention to certain people, self-discipline is a foreign thing to them. You know, and it's easy for me to determine whether or not somebody got an ounce, a sliver of self-discipline, because my whole my whole existence displays self-discipline all the time, right? The way that I eat, the way that I talk, how I exercise, treat my body, the way I exercise my mind, so many things that I refrain from that the average person wouldn't survive 48 hours without. Right? So it's easy for me to determine whether or not somebody got even an ounce of self-discipline, right? And what you'll find out is that most chicks, unfortunately, they don't. Shout out to the chicks that do have self-discipline about themselves, right? That can go out with their girls or go out with somebody, they loved ones or what have you, and, maybe have a drink or two, but, know when to say when. They know when to stop. They know how to not go overboard. They know how to not allow themselves to lose control to the alcohol. They the master of themselves. They not being mastered by that, right? Shout out to the ladies like that. Shout out to the ladies that, get some kind of exercise, whether they going to the gym every day or they might just be walking for 20 minutes, or even if you're walking for 10 minutes, whatever it is, it's just some kind of exercise every day. You dig? Shout out to the ladies that like to read, and take care of themselves. But, like I said, man, a lot of chicks will show you the complete opposite of self-discipline. They have zero self-control. They constantly in their phone because they can't control themselves when it comes to social media. They can't resist knowing what's in their notifications. They can't resist knowing what the Shade Room and Hollywood Unlocked is talking about. They can't resist knowing what kind of mess and nonsense they favorite celebrities might be involved in. They just can't resist it, right? They don't have any self-discipline when it comes to that. They don't have any self-discipline when it comes to that vape that's glued to their hand. I know a lot of y'all, you think just because pimping can't physically see you that I don't know. But I know a lot of y'all got a vape in your hand right now, and you just finished hitting it in the past 10 seconds, and you're about to hit it again in the next 30 seconds. Yeah. Whole bunch of y'all got a vape in your hand right now. The vape is like glued to your hand. It would have to be surgically removed from your hand until it run out. When it run out, all of a sudden you can let it go and throw it away and get another one. But yeah, no self-discipline when it comes to that vape. Hey man, I'll tell you, that shit is the most unattractive thing to me, is the vape. The vape is more unattractive than, drinking alcohol. Actually, the vape, and you know what's crazy? I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. So I can't stand cigarettes, right? Can't stand the smell of them. Can't stand nothing about cigarettes, right? But the vape is even more unattractive than cigarettes to me. Because at least when somebody done smoking a cigarette, they might not smoke another one for like a couple hours or even an hour, even 30 minutes or something. Even a chain smoker is going to have, breathers in between cigarettes. Man, that vape, these girls is on the toilet with the vape. They in the shower with the vape. If they 304s, they doing a date with the vape in their hand. They got, the man's manhood in one hand and they got the vape in the other hand. It's just like, God damn. You know what I mean? That shit is so unattractive. That vape. Right? But like I said, sense of self-importance, right? Self-discipline, right? These are criteria by which I use to determine whether or not somebody is trustworthy. sense of self-importance, self-discipline. The third one is ability to withstand pressure, right? And this is another big one, man. This is another big one. That ability to withstand pressure, man, is going to tell you a whole lot about somebody, right? You know, me, myself, I've withstood a whole lot of different kind of pressures, man. And I'm so grateful that the Most High prepared me in the ways that he did to withstand different pressures in life, right? But man, a lot of people can't handle pressure. You know, I've been in situations where I remember when I was real young, man. When I was real young, I was in a situation with one of my partners, and we went on a mission to go make some money, but we kind of got caught in between. We kind of hit a rough spot in between. Before we could get to the money, we was in like a little rough situation, and we was stuck outside. We didn't have nowhere to go, and I just remember him complaining the whole time, crying about this and crying about that. Not literally crying as far as tears boo-hooing, but just whining about, man, we outside. Man, we ain't got nothing to eat. Man, we can't do this. Man, we can't do that. And me, I wasn't worried about it because I knew what the solution was. I knew how we were going to get out of this situation, and I knew that it wasn't going to be long before we got out of this situation as long as we do what we're supposed to do. And we did. We got out the situation and everything was cool. But whenever I've been in them type of situations, man, getting arrested, getting charged with some crazy shit, not knowing how much time you're going to end up getting, not knowing how long you about to sit in jail and fight this case. Like, I've never cried about anything that I've had to go through, right? And, you know, I come into the game like that. But the game made me even more like that. Because as the pimping, you know, when you really, really pimping, when you standing on your principles, when you standing on what's important to you, right, as the pimping, and you not compromising, and you not making deals, you not wheeling and dealing with these broads, you not negotiating with terrorist ass females in order to get a few dollars, right? When you really standing on your pimping, man, you gonna go through some shit. So I say all that to say that's what makes me the type of individual that can withstand pressure. Like, you know, it just like pressure ain't nothing to me. Whatever situation I've ended up in and whatever situation I may end up in the future, I'm always maintain my composure. I'm tried, tested, and true. I'm gonna always be smooth no matter what, right? But hey, some of these chicks, man, when it come to pressure, they just can't handle it, right? And see, as the pimpin', we already know that for a 304, hey, you can't evade the pressure. You can't avoid the pressure. You can't duck the pressure. The pressure is gonna get you. Maybe not all the time, but you're gonna have to withstand certain pressures, right? And, you know, one pressure for a 304 that is gonna determine whether or not she can withstand pressure is going to jail. Man, you ever the pimping, if you've been pimping long enough, man, you all have been in that situation, man, where you got a chick and she go to jail for the first time and she just calling you non-stop, blowing your phone up non-stop. You know what I mean? Now I can understand, you know, it's a chick's first time going to jail, so she gonna call you, you know what I mean? But some chicks just call you non-stop, and it's what they doing when you answer the phone. They crying, and they just, did you find out what my bail is? Are you gonna bail me out? Or, you know, what's gonna happen? I don't want to be in here. You know what I mean? When you've already let her know that, hey, this is a possibility of what happens when you are in the game. When you play the game, you got to understand that sometimes this is a part of it, right? And shout out to the 304s who went to jail for the first time, and they was just cool because they knew they wasn't finna be in there forever because it's just a hoe case for one. And then two, you know what I mean? They just was smooth about it, right? Shout out to y'all, you dig? But yeah, man. That's a telltale sign that a chick is not able to withstand pressure. Or just like, see, this is why I love the blade, man. Now, the blade doesn't have to be the end all be all. It don't, I'm never a one trick pony, and I don't teach no ladies in the game to be no one trick ponies. So the blade is never gonna be something that is the only thing that we do, right? But I just love the blade because it's so many people scared of it. And I like doing shit that people are scared to do. It's just something in me, man. I don't know. You call it what you want, man, but I just love shit that people are scared to do. And, I just ain't got no problem doing it. And I love ladies like that. I love having ladies that are willing to do what most people are scared to do. They got the heart to do it. You dig? That's one thing about the blade that I love. So the blade, even though you got some punk ass broads, some trifling broads, you got every different type of broad on the blade too. But I just like it when certain chicks just don't think they too good for the blade, especially the ones that, every step they take, wherever they go, people is constantly telling them how good they look and how beautiful they are and all that old type of shit. And, the ones that, cats be sweating them riding past them on the blade like, yeah, girl, you too good. You look too good to be out here on the blade. Girl, come get with my pimpin'. I'm going to take your ass up out it. I'm going to put you somewhere better than this. You too good for this blade. Meanwhile, Pippin sit back listening to you saying this goofy ass shit, laughing at you while Pippin is mashing on this bitch, and you don't even know this bitch that made $3,000 on this blade tonight, and it's still early. It ain't even midnight yet, and she's still mashing for a pimp's ration, laughing at your goofy ass. Oh yeah, you too pretty to be out here, girl. Oh, simp Keith Sweat ass. Oh man, I love this shit. But yeah, man. That ability to withstand pressure is going to tell you a lot about somebody. So like I said, sense of self-importance, self-discipline, and the ability to withstand pressure, right? When you know that a female, one, like I said, has a sense of self-importance, and her sense of self-importance doesn't come from her circumstances or her possessions or things like that. It comes from within. It comes from, what's been invested in her as a woman, who she knows herself to be, right? When a woman knows that is what makes her important, then, she has a sense of self-importance. Her self-esteem is going to be intact. Self-discipline. Right? She's not a sensation junkie. She's not constantly chasing sensations all the time. And, sensations are more important to her than things that really should be important to her. And she just can't resist these sensations. She can't put the vape down. She can't put social media down. Not for a split second. You know what I mean? When she wake up, before she grab a toothbrush, she don't even have to grab the vape because she fell asleep with it in her hand, so it's already in her hand. You know what I mean? Nah, she got a sense of self-discipline, right? And ability to withstand pressure. Whatever she go through, you know what I mean? She built for it. She can handle it, right? She knows she gonna make it through these tough times, or whatever type of pressures may be presented to her in life. She knows she gonna make it. She gonna be good. She done made it through pressure before, and she gonna make it through pressure again. And then she also understands that, pressure is either gonna make her a busted pipe or a diamond, and she knows she a diamond. She knows she gonna shine. So this pressure ain't nothing. You dig? When a woman has these three things about herself, it's a pretty good indication of things to come with that woman. It's a pretty good indication of who you dealing with and what you dealing with, and whether or not this is somebody that's worthwhile getting involved with. If she doesn't have these things, if she doesn't have a sense of self-importance, or if her sense of self-importance comes from, circumstances and possessions and things outside of herself, if she don't have no self-discipline and she can't withstand pressure, it's a lot of room in a person like that's mind for jealousy and envy to creep in and, rear its ugly head. See, because when you the type of person that you have a true sense of self-importance, you have self-discipline, and you have the ability to withstand pressure, hey man, we look good. See, this is what self-discipline looks like. This is what self-importance looks like. This is what the ability to withstand pressure looks like, right? You can see all of that when you look at me and you listen to me. You don't see somebody that has a low self-esteem when you look at me, right? And this isn't boasting. I went through a lot of shit to be who I am. Like, shit, I went through some shit. A lot of people wouldn't even be able to handle the shit that I've been through to be me. So that's why I'm proud to say that, hey, I know what makes me important, right? But my self-esteem is intact. Self-discipline, shit, that should be on my driver license. My name should be Jason Self-Discipline Willridge. You know what I mean? My mama should have named me Self-Discipline instead of Darrell. You dig? But shit, all the food that most people eat that I don't eat, the alcohol that I don't drink, the tobacco that I've never smoked, the weed that I don't smoke, the drugs that I've never done, and I could be in a room full of people doing all of this shit and don't even have the urge or the temptation to do any of this shit. I could be at a restaurant with people and everybody eating lasagna and pizza and pasta and steaks and lobster and shrimp and all this shit, and I don't even have that shit don't even appeal to me. Man, shit, I'll be all day talking about self-discipline. So that's not even a question. And then ability to withstand pressure. Like I said, man, I done been through a lot of shit to be who I am. A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. You dig? So, like I said, and then when you look at certain women and listen to them talk, it's obvious. You dig? They got it intact. They got self-discipline, they got self-esteem, and they can withstand pressure, right? When you look at certain women, it's a no-brainer. Like, okay, okay. I could rock with her. You dig? So, like I said, when they don't have these things intact, I'll deal with that later. But yeah, when they have these things intact, man, it's a beautiful thing. But when they don't have these things intact, like I said, that's where the room for jealousy is there for jealousy to creep in and, rear its ugly head, man. And see, when you a top tier guy, I don't like using that high value man shit because the definition of a high value man is extremely limited, for one, and then two, it's extremely worn out for, so when you just a man that got your shit together and you're a valuable individual, it takes a certain type of individual to be able to confidently stand next to you. It takes a confident woman to be able to confidently stand next to you, right? And really be able to hang with you. Now when you that type of guy that you pretty much have your pick, you could pretty much have whoever you want. Anybody that you allow to will stand next to you. But you got to be careful. You got to pay attention because some people know they don't have any business standing next to you. While others know, okay, this is who I'm supposed to stand next to. Right? I look right with him. We fit with each other. This makes sense. But some chicks in their head be like, I don't look right standing next to him. This don't make no damn sense. But hey, he let me be here, so I'm going to be here. These are the type of people that can be jealous. And it's scary, man. Especially those of you guys that, like I said, you have your self-esteem intact. So whatever your circumstance may be, whether you have a lot of materials or few materials, a lot of money or a little money, whatever your circumstance is, you still got a lot to lose because you're important to people and you important, what makes you important to the world. And, you got a lot to lose, whatever the case may be. And you can't just entrust anybody with that. You have to be careful, and then you got to understand too, that times are different. The world has made it so, the way the world is now, it encourages people to have a low self-esteem. The world encourages all of us to have a low self-esteem. The world encourages us to have zero self-discipline. The world encourages us to not be able to withstand pressure, right? It encourages us to have a low self-esteem because it's just cool to be weak nowadays. It's cool to be a soft sucker, weak type individual, whether you're a man or a woman, right? And being a victim is praised. So, having a sense of self-importance, that's discouraged in this world that we live in now. Self-discipline, it's a million different options for every different thing that you can think of being shoved down your throat, right? So self-discipline is anything but encouraged and discouraged in every way, right? Fortunately for me, I just was like, I was that type of person, largely due to my pops. My pops is somebody that has high self-discipline, and he displayed that to me. So I just picked that up naturally, just, growing up with him. So, but yeah, self-discipline is highly discouraged, right? That's why they constantly shoving different options for different things. People that you're supposed to follow, people that you're supposed to listen to, people that you're supposed to learn from, people that you're supposed to be entertained by and laugh at, whatever it is, the type of clothes that you're supposed to wear or have options to wear. Just everything you could think of. It's a million different options with everything. Right? And then not just that, but it's a million sensations being shoved down your throat and pushed in your face, right? Sensations are everywhere. Things that make you feel good are everywhere you turn. But everything that makes you feel good ain't good for you. And most of the shit that's being pushed in your face that will make you feel good is not good for you, right? But you're not encouraged to have self-discipline when it comes to all that shit, right? And then ability to withstand pressure, like I said, the victim is praised more than, the conqueror. the survivor is praised more than the conqueror nowadays. You know, the survivor who survived some traumatic shit and now they living with the trauma of it and all of those type of shit. That's praised over somebody that, you know, survived something and then conquered the shit and they not imprisoned by the shit no more and they use that shit as fuel to make them stronger and conquer more shit in the world. Nah, that's not encouraged. That's discouraged, right? So I say all of that to say it's encouraged in a lot of ways for a lot of these young chicks to be jealous individuals of the men that they may be in a relationship with, right? Because the things that make them important or have a sense of self-importance, the things that they should want, the things that they should be aspiring to be, the things that they should be seeking out, that's not encouraged. You know, things that are fit for a woman, that's not encouraged, right? And, you know, it's cool that you got a lot of women dominating the rap game, but when you look at how a lot of the biggest rappers today are women, and then you listen to the message of their music, the shit that they rapping about, you know, most of them's message is bullshit, and, you know, they have the loudest megaphone out there. So this is the shit that is encouraging most young chicks, right? And what's encouraged is, you know, we can do what these dudes are doing better than them. Like basically we can be what men are better than what how men are doing it, right? Whatever a man is supposed to be, we can be that and be it better. This is what's encouraged with most of these chicks. So if you have a young female that is learning from her favorite rapper and her favorite podcaster and her favorite influencer on social media that, you know, whatever a man is, she can be that and be better at it than he is. And then she go get with a fly ass, smart ass, important ass, successful ass man who go hard, who got crazy work ethic and so on and so forth, and is important to a lot of people. When a chick get with a man like that, she's subconsciously programmed to think that she's supposed to be what he is and be better at it than he is, right? But when she's sorely mistaken, when she get with that man and get around that man and realize, damn, it ain't that easy to be him, you know, but nonetheless, she still thinks she's supposed to be him and be better at being him than he is. That's where the jealousy come into play, right? And this is where that masculine bullshit come in because, again, like we talked about yesterday, when a woman is in touch with her femininity, she don't even have a desire to be anything that a man is. She don't have a desire to compete with a man. Like that's the furthest thing from her mind. Her mind don't even work like that because she recognizes that the strength that's in her that comes from her femininity is something that a man will never have and never be able to do. So just like a man is what she'll never be, she's what a man will never be. And that's what makes them coming together so beautiful, right? A woman who's in touch with her femininity understands that, but a lot of these chicks ain't in touch with their femininity like we talked about yesterday. You did. So, you know, you got chicks that want to be heard when you the one being heard, right? Like me, imagine that. Me, y'all here to listen to me, right? Y'all here to watch me, right? So I'm the one that got the microphone right now. I'm the one that got the camera right now. Y'all tuned in to me. But just imagine a female coming up in here and trying to be seen and heard more than me. Right? Like, why would she want to be seen and heard more than me? It's my time to shine. And if you want your time to shine, go create your time to shine. Just like I created my time to shine, man. Hey, man, listen, let me see if I can show y'all something. Because it's like how they say Rome wasn't built overnight. Let me see if I can show y'all something. Hold on. I hope it don't trip on me like it did yesterday. Hold on. If you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button. Oh, shit. Hold up. I want to show y'all something. And if my screen doesn't show it, then I'll just read it to you, right? Ooh wee. Let me see if I can show y'all this. Hold on. Why is that shit tripping like that? No. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to show y'all my Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Look at this, man. Like I said, Rome wasn't built overnight. This is when I first got on. This is my first month on YouTube. This is my first month on YouTube. May of 2016, right? You see how far Pimpton came, right? This is my first month on YouTube, right? And thanks to y'all. I don't know if it's any of y'all that been around since this time, but see, to give y'all some backstory, hold on. Sinful got me on YouTube. I wasn't even thinking about no YouTube, man. I wasn't even entertaining the thought of getting on YouTube and creating a channel, becoming a YouTube, none of that, right? But Sinful obviously started his YouTube channel first, and then he would have me on his YouTube channel. Like I would be a guest on his show, chopping it up with him, and that kind of sparked an interest from some of his viewers, and they was like, well, what's Freeze's YouTube channel? And I was like, well, shit, Freeze ain't got no YouTube channel. So then everybody kept, whenever Sinful would have me on, people would tell me like, man, Freeze, you need to create your own channel. So I did, right? And this is my first month on YouTube. You see, I had 323 views for the whole month. Let me see how many videos I put out that month. Let me see. I put out 5 videos that month. Yeah, I put out 5 videos that month, which ain't a lot, but that's an average of like 60-something views per video, right? But 323 views, 26.5 watch time hours. Man, I gained 20 subs for the whole month of my first month on YouTube. And look at me, I earned 9 cents, a whole 9 pennies, right? Fast forward to now, hey, this live stream that we on right now has outdone my whole first month on YouTube, right? It's crazy to look at this shit, right? Now hold on, hold on, let me do something real quick. Hold on, let's do this. Let's see. Hold on. Show y'all the comparison. Slow poke. I'll show y'all last month, because this month ain't over with yet. And last month was like, for me, like a horrible month, because I didn't do anything last month, right? I didn't go live. I didn't put no content out. I didn't do nothing last month. So this is last month's analytics. But you see how far they came, right? This is my first month on YouTube. You see. And this is my most recent month. This is February, last month on YouTube. I didn't do nothing spectacular. 14.4K views, 2,400 watch time hours, 62 subs, $60. Nothing spectacular. Now I'm going to show y'all my best month, right? And this is like motivation for me. This is lets me know I need to stop bullshitting. I'm going to show y'all my best month on YouTube, right? This is when I was going hard and I was consistent. Oh, hold up. It's crazy that it's this long ago, man. So let you know I've been bullshitting. This is my best month. Now, I've had other months where I've earned more money. I don't be tripping off the money though. I don't really pay attention to that. This is the most subs that I've ever gained in 1 month. 6,200 subs, right? Almost 40,000 watch time hours. Not that many views. Well, in the world of YouTube, I don't think this is that many views, but almost 300,000 views. I guess that's decent. But yeah, this is like my best month, man. But I'm on my shit now, though. We right back at it. But you know, I say all of that to say, you know, for the chicks that have that jealousy thing about them, that seed in them that allows them to be jealous, everything is a process. Everything comes with a process, right? Some processes are faster than others. Some processes take more time. But everything comes with a process, and you got to respect the process, right? And, you know, when you respect the process, you understand that whatever it is that you want out of life, whatever it is that you want to achieve, you got to put work in. And when you're the type of person that don't mind putting work in, or the type of person that loves putting work in, then you understand that there's no reason to be jealous of anybody for any reason, right? And especially not the man that you involved with, the man that you want to have a relationship with. You dig? Okay, y'all got the likes looking good, man. We're at 269. It'll be a beautiful thing. Make sure I cover up this feed, this label. They're going to have to cut me a check before I get to promoting that shit on my channel, you dig? But, Damn, what the hell was I saying? Oh, we got 269 people that wipe their feet off at the door. It'd be beautiful if we can get to that 300 down before we get up out of here, man. Get 300 people wiping their feet off at the door. Yeah, if you haven't already, even though at this point the likes is much greater than the viewers, if you haven't wiped your feet off at the door when you step to a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button, man. That thing that looked like that there. Okay. Shout my loved ones out. Mr. Reed, good looking with the $2 holla. Glory to the game. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. AK, good looking with the $5 holla. Thank you for this game, sir. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Third one, I know I shouted you out once before, but here we go again. Third one, appreciate you with the $2 holla. What's poppin', Freeze? One love. One love, you dig? Palm, what's happening with you, man? Appreciate you with the $5 holla. P, when you was in LA, did you cop your suits down Santee Alleys, downtown LA? Not in the alley. But yeah, downtown LA, like up and down Los Angeles Street, you know, they got a lot of cool suit stores over there. Which, you know, Los Angeles Street is just like a couple blocks over from the alley. But not exactly in the alley, but a block or two over from the alley. Yeah. Appreciate you. Tyler, good looking with the $2 holla. Hit the like. Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Blue Hunted, good looking with the $5 holla. This is a topic the game needed. 100. Appreciate you, man. You know I'm going to get a game with it need. You dig? Carlos Enriquez, as always, good looking with the $2 holla. How would you handle a girl contracting something? Hold on, we'll get to that in just a second. Let me run through. Justin B, good looking with the $50 holla. You dig? Game on high. Yes, indeed, man. Salute. Appreciate you. Okay, so Carlos Enriquez says, how would you handle a girl contracting something? It depends on what it is, man. You know, different things obviously have to be handled different ways. Now, if the young lady was to contract something that's curable, obviously we take the measures necessary to cure her of that something that she contracted, and hopefully she allows that to be a lesson learned. Now, something that is incurable, right? I've never dealt with that. I've never had somebody under my program that contracted something that is incurable while they were with me, right? I've never experienced that. But if I did, we would have to sit down and have a conversation, and basically I would have to let that individual know that, you know, as far as us moving forward in the game together, we wouldn't be able to do that because at that point you would be putting other people at risk, and, you know, that's just something that I can't be a part of, right? Now, I know of situations where, chicks be with somebody and they contract something incurable while they're with somebody, and then that somebody lets them know that they can't continue, but they go on by themselves and they continue with that, or they go choose up with somebody else. And sometimes you have guys that don't care that a chick has something incurable and they allow her to continue with them. So me, I would strongly encourage that individual to retire from the game, and also help them in any way that I could to do something else with their lives. I'm not just gonna throw them away and treat them like damaged goods or something like that. No, I'm going to do my best to educate them and encourage them to take care of themselves, so that incurable thing is not as much of a problem as it needs to be. Because we already know with certain incurable diseases, right? If you don't take care of yourself properly, then it can be more of a problem than would be if you do take care of yourself. With certain things, if you take care of yourself a certain way, it's almost, you don't have any symptoms. It's almost as if you don't have it, right? It's not so burdensome if you take care of yourself a certain way. So I would do my best to educate that person on, how to take care of themselves as best I could, and then encourage them to take care of themselves and do something different with their life, and then also help them to do like whatever it is that they're trying to do with themselves. I'm gonna help them to do that. If they want to go to school, I'm gonna help them go to school. If they want to start a business, I'm gonna help them start a business. If they want to, get a certain job, I'm gonna help them in whatever way that I can to get that certain job. That's what I'm gonna do. You dig? I'm not just going, oh, fuck you. You can't do this no more. Fuck you. I ain't like that. You know what I mean? Because this is something that happened while you was with me. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that you straight. Even though if that was to happen under my watch, 9 times out of 10, it would be the results of disobedience, right? Because like I say all the time, as a 304, the best weapon that you can take to work with you is game. When you take game with you and you know how to properly utilize the game, and you're mindful of applying game in every situation, then you don't need a gun, you don't need a knife, and you definitely gonna have protection as far as the intimacy part goes. You're gonna have condoms and things of that nature, right? And you're gonna use them. But sometimes you have situations where a certain amount of money is presented to a chick, and she's never had this amount of money presented to her at one time, and the trick is telling her like, yeah, I'll give you this much if we can do it without the condom. And some chicks, they don't want to pass that up. They don't want to lose that money, and at the same time, all they can think about is what the trick is presenting them with. They're not thinking about how they can persuade the trick to see things their way and still get the desired outcome, right? They're not thinking about how they can apply some game to the situation and have their way and still get the desired outcome. Some chicks aren't inclined in that way. All they get the money, or they see the money presented to them, and like I said, it may be an amount that she ain't never been presented with before, and all she could think about is doing whatever she got to do to get it, instead of doing the right thing to get it, right? Not just doing shit, but doing shit right. That's why I always teach young ladies that's rocking with me, don't just do shit, do it right. Right, and that it's, you know, that subject right there goes a lot deeper. Get into that another time. But that's a part of it though, right? When it comes to getting the money, don't just do shit, but do it right. And 9 times out of 10, you won't have no problems, right? But if a chick was to contract something while she was with me, then 9 times out of 10 is due to disobedience. And a lot of times, certain amounts of money will, you know, prompt a chick to be disobedient. So, yeah. All right, man. Listen, if you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you stepped into a pimp's domain, please do so now. Hit that like button. You dig? But yeah, man, the bottom line, you know, there's a lot of things in the world that encourage chicks to be jealous, or that encourage jealous type behaviors from certain ladies, right? And as a man, especially a man that values himself and is living a good life, and you appreciate your life and the people that you're important to and the people who are important to you, you know, it's easy for somebody like that to let the wrong, untrustworthy individual around you that can be jealous of you. And that jealousy can rear its ugly head in ways that's like, that can be costly, man. You know, you don't want a jealous female to cost you your livelihood, your business. You don't want a jealous female to cost you your freedom. You don't want a jealous female to cost you your life, right? You know, I don't want to get all into that, but it's been situations, man, where a female will be jealous of the man that she's with and unalive him because she's so jealous of him, right? But yeah, like I said, I ain't gonna get too deep into that, but you know, it can be scary, man, dealing with a chick that's jealous of you. And, you know, some of y'all like that crazy shit. You like chicks that flip out and go crazy and all that type of shit. Some of y'all like that toxic ass shit. But me, I'm cool, man. Cause I done had a taste of it, and I don't want no more. I'm like Red's Pops on Friday. You want some of this too, old man? No. I don't know. I don't want no smoke with the toxicity. You dig? I'm cool. But hopefully you soaked up some good game in this live. I definitely enjoyed it myself. Today was a good one, as usual. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. Again, if you ain't wiped your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain, please do a pimp a favor and wipe your feet off at the door as you exit a pimp's domain. Come on, man. We only 11 people away from 300. Go ahead and wipe your feet off, man. But as always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate all the shares, the comments, the questions, the jokes, the input, feedback, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for subscribing and hitting the bell when you subscribe. I appreciate all the super chats, the cash apps, the PayPals. I appreciate your support in every which way that you comes with it, man. Hold on before we go. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freeze is it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.